Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. So currently it's 4:30 p.m. in Malaysia, and today is a wonderful hot Saturday. So today I'm gonna present about another topic on the Microsoft Defender for Identity. Looking back on the part 2, if you are following up with my videos, I'm really sorry that I wasn't very consistent on my video posting. Is due to I have been through quite a lot of weekend deployments, so projects running concurrently. So that's why I was uh, had taking a break from making videos, because videos you have to kind of look back and maybe cut off some few parts. I mean, yeah, if you know what I mean. Today's session I'm just gonna make it quite short and not very long like my previous videos. Probably make it to 10 minutes or 5 minutes, then I could wrap up with this. So in the part 2, we have this session where we were talking about setting up the agent and the prerequisite, including the commands and the path, and theoretically how you are gonna set up for it, and talking about the limitation for the Defender for Identity. So today let's come to talk about licensing. I think every time I presenting Defender for Identity, right? A lot of people tends to ask about the licensing part, which I understand that majority audience are usually the sales or managers or uh, account account development people. So basically, the licensee they required at least a EM sorry oops, supposed to be able to rub off, I think. Yeah, where's my eraser? Oops, I can't rub this off. Why is it? Anyway, I'm just trying to say that licensing is required an EMS E5 license. I'm not too sure why is this thing automatically runs off. And yeah, are we gonna be purchasing for each of the users? Actually, no. It's more on the organization phase, meaning you must have this one EMS license attached to a global admin. So then you can manage that portal. Because whenever we come into licensing, it's quite difficult to understand. Is it gonna be required for all users, or just is it supported support tenant base? So for Defender for Identity, it is supported by tenant base. So all you need to do is to assign to a global admin account. or administrator administrator for your office. So that is the topic side on the licensing. So now you get a clear of it, and now let's jump into talking about disconnecting the sensor health. Every time we kind of like gets a lot of alerts and seeing why our sensor is keep on disconnecting on a specific time period, like you are having a backup system in your environment. Okay, this is your backup system, and sensors are in your domain controller. So let's draw, this is the affected sensor. So basically it's your DC. So every time they have a backup being scheduled, or let's say maybe midnight 12 a.m. And yes, definitely the traffic will increases in the DC. Okay, so and you had your DC set to the recommendation of Windows servers hardware prerequisite, which is 8 GB of RAM. You had this sensor deploy for 2 weeks, everything was running smooth, and all of a sudden you had a backup system being implemented, or maybe a few more, a few new application system implemented into the environment. And you do know that all these application would require an LDAP authentication, so this is a traffic packets. And usually 4 GB of RAM will be taking up the DC resources, and the other 4 GB plus minus obviously would be for others packets or traffic. But currently you have this you have this newly implemented into the environment, so this will definitely spike the traffic. And there is where your sensor will start to have this is where your sensor will start to have issue. It will start to disconnect. So what you can do is that what you can do so the first thing is download the sizing tool, and to receive a new recommendation of hardware resource that is needed to be increased. So you download this sizing tool. I will post the link on the description. Then next, you gotta install on the affected sensor or domain controller. Then the portion run it for 24 hours. So what it does, it will exported a Excel file which contains not just one sensor result, it contains all of the sensor result, and they will identify the maximum packets that each of the sensor that is receiving, and you have to meet the prerequisite by Microsoft. Like for example, CPU core, does it require increment? For packets that's running 10K and above, or RAM resources that you need to increment, or storage or what. So by running this sizing tool would really helps you a lot. So that is all for today's session. Thanks for your time to watch this video. Please subscribe.